Good afternoon, Ithaca.
Good afternoon, Howard.
All right. Before we begin, I want to recognize some of the special guests that are with us today. Chair of the Tompkins County Legislature, Martha Robertson, and all other members of the county legislature in attendance. Mayor of the City of Ithaca, Savante Myrick. Assemblywoman Barbara Lifton. Commissioner of the New York State Department of Transportation, Paul Karras. Deputy Mayor of the Village of Lansing, Ronnie Hardaway. President of Tompkins Cortland Community College, Orinthia Montague. President of the Tompkins County Area Development, Heather McDaniel. President and CEO of Tompkins Chamber of Commerce, Jennifer Tavares. President of the Ithaca Aviation Heritage Foundation, Don Funk. REDC member, IEBW International Representative, Ernie Hartman. Representing the Ithaca Building Trades, Dave Marsh and Dan Jackson. I want to recognize all of our brothers and sisters in labor who are present today. Make yourself heard. I also want to recognize the DJ for playing Jim Morrison and the Doors. That was so Ithaca. You know what I'm talking about. Well, it is great to be here again. I am your upstate cousin. I live just 3 hours and 25-minute drive to the west in Buffalo, New York. I've been an upstater for 37 years, and I have had the pleasure of working for this governor as head of ESD for the last 4 years, where this governor has gotten more accomplished in revitalizing the upstate economy than any governor in modern history. And his approach to economic development, which is 180 degrees different from what we lived through for so long, which was a one-size-fits-all, very hard to understand edict from Albany that was frankly ineffective for a long time, has been replaced by a collaborative, strategic, participatory process that you determine. You have taken ownership of your economic future with the strategic plan for your region and your city and your county. And you see the state continually invest in the plans of your county and your city, whether it's at Cornell with the Chess Project or advanced manufacturing across the region, be it in Hornell or be it in Binghamton, be it innovation in pharmacy schools and nursing schools, be it accelerators and incubators. And if you think about Ithaca, it has everything. And you are the envy of so many parts of the state because you have everything here that we work so hard to achieve across the state. You've got anchor institutions that the governor invests in with your colleges and universities. You have spin-off businesses that we continue to invest in through incubators and accelerators and in the technology. You have a revitalized downtown. You see the governor continually investing in downtowns across the region. You have a critical mass of all that is important, and one of the reasons why your future is so extraordinarily bright. So in addition to the governor investing in the workforce of New York and innovation and downtowns, he invests in infrastructure, and the extraordinary investment that you see across upstate in the airports is really remarkable. And the fact that the governor is literally revitalizing every airport across upstate New York, and that brings us here today. The Tompkins Regional Airport. Today, we are breaking ground on the future of this airport, a transformed facility that will fuel the next generation of growth for Ithaca and the entire region. This is a $24.7 million transformation of the Ithaca Tompkins Regional Airport. It's the first expansion of the airport since it was built more than a decade ago. It will expand the terminal by nearly 50% and add 6 new gates and 3 additional passenger bridges for a total of 4 to accommodate jet aircraft and additional service. On the outside, an exterior canopy upgrade will provide a wind-resistant waiting area for buses, taxis, and hotel shuttles, because we know Ithacans do not like waiting and they do not like wind. Inside, the expanded terminal will have new paneling and lighting to improve the passenger experience and comfort, because we know Ithacans want to be comfortable. The new facility will provide more seating, high-speed Wi-Fi, additional charging ports, and a more modern passenger experience, because we know Ithacans like their Wi-Fi. We are adding 4,000 square feet of space, providing room for new post-security food concessions, because we know Ithacans are hungry. Where you will be able to purchase premier New York products through Taste New York initiative, because while we have you there at the airport, we are selling you our stuff. Let's hear it for I Love New York stuff. We are also implementing major security enhancements, including updating TSA baggage screening to be compliant with post-9/11 security requirements, and adding another lane for passenger security screening to alleviate wait times. As part of this transformation, we are also building a new customs facility that will allow international aircraft to fly directly to the airport instead of stopping at other airports to clear U.S. customs. The new customs facility will ensure the transformed airport will be truly a global destination. How about that new airport? And with that, it is my pleasure to welcome a gentleman, a scholar, and a mayor, Savanti Myrick.
Thank you, Howard. A gentleman, a mayor, and a scholar. On my best day, I'm 2 out of 3. Most days, just 1. I want to thank you and thank my friends in the Tompkins County Legislature for allowing me to be here, and my friends in the Village of Lansing for allowing me to break free. We are not in the city of Ithaca right now. That's why my ankle bracelet is going off. But I'm happy to be here because this project is so important for the success in the future of our city. The airport is and has been a lifeline, a way for people to get in and out of our community. And this project's going to allow us to enhance what happens inside the city of Ithaca with moving the DOT facility that's currently on the waterfront is going to give Ithaca and Tompkins County a chance to bring people back down to the water and make this the lake town it deserves to be. So for that, I want to thank Governor Cuomo. And I want to thank our partners in Albany, including Assemblywoman Barbara Lifton, who has always been a champion and a true friend of the city of Ithaca and a true friend of Tompkins County. I hope you'll join me in recognizing Assemblywoman Lifton. Barbara is great because she keeps her promises, and we can say that about our governor too. Governor Cuomo is like a lot of folks who sought this office, promised that they would focus on upstate. Unlike other governors, Governor Cuomo kept his promise. Howard mentioned that his focus on infrastructure and economic development in upstate New York is unrivaled, historic, amongst modern governors in New York State. And I want to make sure that that doesn't go unnoticed. You know, we're very used to, at this point, such hyperbole coming out of DC about the greatest this, the best this, you won't believe it, it's so big, it's so huge, that it's easy to stop believing such claims completely. But this is a fact. The Governor Cuomo's administration has put more money, more attention, more time, and got better results out of the economy in upstate New York than we've seen out of any governor in modern times. It's a fact. And he does it because he's got great... That's Air Force One coming to reprimand him. No. He does it because he's got great partners and great staff, as I've seen up close and personal. But he does it, too, by sheer force of will. Some of you may remember we were here a few short months ago, and you may be thinking, why are we back here now? It's because when the governor came to make the announcement that this was going to be possible, as County Legislator Martha Robertson and I greeted the governor, he grabbed hold of her tight and he said, if we give you this money, you say you can break ground in the fall, right? She goes, yeah. She goes, not fall-ish. You promised me you're going to do this in the fall. And Martha says, I promise we'll do it in the fall. Well, sure enough, we just greeted the governor as he arrived. He grabs Martha, he goes, this is going to be done by the end of 2019, right? And he goes, yeah, I'm sure. He goes, no, I want promises, right? Because that's how the governor delivers on his promise, is by holding other people accountable. So for that and for so much of the great work you've done for my hometown and for my adopted hometown of Ithaca, thank you and bless you. It's my pleasure to introduce another leader, somebody who has now spent decades in service to our community, somebody who is a citizen first, an activist second, and an elected official third, somebody who also believes in promises and accountability. And I know that because if ever I don't do what I'm going to say, she's the first to text me, call me, and sometimes, if need be, tackle me in public. She is the leader we deserve. She is the incredible and really inspiring chair of the Tompkins County Legislature, Martha Robertson.
That's true. I just texted him. Yeah. Hey, Savante, remember? Thank you so much, Savante. I really appreciate those comments. That's very sweet. Now, first I have to, before I really get started, I got to get out my list of the next things we're going to ask the governor for. Welcome, everyone. It has just been a few short months, and it is a delight to welcome the governor and Howard Zemsky and the rest of this wonderful staff back here to Ithaca, to Tompkins County. We're delighted to have you, delighted to celebrate this really momentous occasion with, you see the shovels there. We're not actually going to dig up the floor of the hangar, but this is showing that we really are breaking ground and making this happen today. Thanks to Governor Cuomo's leadership, Governor Cuomo's vision, this is why we're here, and who would have believed last May that we would actually get here by now, but we are ready to go. And that is also due to a wonderful team the governor has. His senior staff, led by Kelly Cummings, thank you so very, very much for working overtime to make this happen. CNS engineers and Tom Horth have been fantastic partners right there every step of the way. Our entire airport staff, led by the incomparable Mike Hall. Thank you, Mike. And I just have to say a word about the wonderful plane behind me, and Don Funk and all the volunteers who made possible the Tommy plane's restoration. And Governor, we would have loved to have you here when it flew a couple weeks ago. It was breathtaking, and we're celebrating a continuity here of innovation and progress that we're just getting started on now. I want to also thank NYSERDA and NYSEG and our Commissioner of Planning and Sustainability, Katie Borgella. Inspired by the governor's vision of this airport, Katie and NYSERDA and NYSEG have been working very hard on the plans that are going to make this the most efficient airport possible, and to build this as a geothermal facility so that even when we increase the size by 50%, we're going to be reducing our energy costs by $50,000 a year. So thank you, Katie. Thank you. And as Savante mentioned, the related project of moving the DOT facility up to the neighboring space here, I want to thank the DOT, all the state DOT people led by Kathleen Joy for a lot of hard work on that project as well. So it's been just a real fantastic partnership all along the way with local government and state government really showing what can be done when people have a common vision and a common goal. This success is also a result of the business community working with the public sector. Tompkins County Area Development and the Chamber of Commerce have led in supporting this. And we see our higher education institutions. Gerald Hector is here from Cornell, Vice President from Cornell University, Dr. Montague from TC3, and Paula Younger from Ithaca College. We wouldn't be who we are without your institutions. I think everybody is so aware of that. That's what makes us, one of the things that makes us the global community that we are. We have a t-shirt around, you might see that we're centrally isolated. That used to be true, but it is true the airport really is the key to being now instead a global community. We have students coming and going from all across the world, coming to all three of these institutions. We have, Mike Hall announced recently that we have just attracted a new huge Chinese investment firm into this, looking at this community because of the access, the air access and the airport that will be here. So that a plane like that little baby over there is going to be able to fly from Beijing to here nonstop once we open our customs facility next year. So this is part of our connection. And I'll also mention that United Airlines, the flights that we just celebrated last week, starting direct flight to Dulles, from there it's a quick hop to many, many other destinations around the world. And we're starting service to Charlotte in December as well with American. So things are really happening. This is a true model of innovation, and we're just so proud and delighted for everything that's been happening here. At another ceremony recently with your DEC staff, Governor, we had a wonderful announcement that Tompkins County has achieved silver status on the Climate Smart Community Program, one of only 2 counties in the state to achieve silver status. And this is going to be the next step towards whatever your higher level is going to be. because this will be the solar-powered airport of the future. We are delighted that your vision is helping us create this model of sustainability. And we couldn't be more proud. We couldn't be happier to welcome you. We are so grateful for your vision and your leadership. Thank you, Governor Cuomo. Thank you so very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. You all should be very excited. I know you have that low-key Ithaca cool, but today is a great, great day. First to Martha Robertson. She is special. When we first talked about this, it was, as the mayor spoke about, sort of a hand grab, half tackle. We were in Albany. And the mayor's right. I said to Martha when she first suggested this idea, because I hear a lot of elected officials suggest a lot of things, and it is very important to me that we actually do what we say we are going to do. You know, people are so skeptical, they're so cynical about government, all promises, all vague rhetoric, and nothing happens. So I don't get involved in something unless I believe it's going to happen, and it's going to happen well, and it's going to happen on time. Otherwise, I don't want to have anything to do with it. And when you look in Martha's eye, and you feel her handshake, and you feel all that energy, when she says it's going to happen, I believe her, and I know you believe her. She is the best of government. The right motivation, vision, energy, and she does it for the right reasons. Let's give Martha Robertson a round of applause. Your superstar mayor, let's give him a big round of applause. And there will be a new downtown Ithaca, and it will reclaim its place that it rightfully deserves. And downtowns are where it's at. I relearned that word cool from Howard Zemsky, who believes he's cool. And he's all about cool downtowns, where millennials like to live, that bring that spirit, that bring that energy. It's a natural for Ithaca. The DOT move is part of that. But that's the mayor's vision. He's exactly right. You're lucky to have him. Let's give the mayor a round of applause. Mike Hall, thank you very much. And let's give Mike a round of applause and thank him for everything he's doing. On my team, Kelly Cummings is the Airport Energizer Bunny, and I want to thank her very much for getting everything done. Howard Zemsky, your upstate cousin, as he told you, what was it, 3 hours and 25 minutes? Not that you want to remind people you had to drive, but it was 3 hours and 25 minutes. He's a businessman who we seduced into government service. He's enjoyed every day since, and he's earning that $1 a year, I want you to know. But he has a gift for seeing where the economy is going, attracting the businesses of tomorrow. He loves upstate. He's focused on upstate. And none of this happens without Howard Zemsky. Let's give him a round of applause. Everything has been said, just not everyone has said it. Upstate economy suffered for a lot of years. We know that, and we know why. It was vested in one economic model that worked very well for many years, and that economic model then shifted. And the question for upstate became, well, what's chapter 2? What's the evolution into the new economy? And the silence was deafening. Why? To transition an economy, you need a vision, you need daring, you need guts, and you need an investment partner. And the state of New York was nowhere to be found. I'm not proud to say that, but the state government was too focused on downstate. That's where most of the legislators come from. That's where they were focusing, and they weren't focused on upstate New York. The truth is, a lot of what was happening in the state actually accelerated the loss of business. we had something I call the hangover New York arrogance, which was this attitude that we're New York, you have to live here, your business has to stay here, where else could you go? We're New York. There are other places you can go. If you really push people, you look at a map, you see New York, and then you see all those other shapes next to New York and below New York. Those are called other states, is what they're called. And what we learned is if you tax people high enough and if you are obnoxious enough, they will move to those other states. And they did. And we saw young people leave, and we saw businesses leave, and we saw a decline of upstate New York. And we did a 180-degree turn. We got it. We got it. We learned the lesson the hard way. And the place that needed help and investment was upstate New York. We reduced state taxes all across the board. From the day I started, every New Yorker pays a lower income tax rate today than they did the day I walked into office. Lower corporate rate, lower personal rate, lower manufacturing rate. We are focused on business climate and attracting businesses like a laser. That's what Howard does all day long. That's what I do. It's a different world now. I was in the federal government for 8 years. I was the HUD secretary. And HUD did housing, but HUD really did economic development. And I saw people from all around the country would come in with these ideas that they had for their economic future, for their region, and they were pitching a vision, and the state was there, and the county was there, and the city was there, and the private sector was there, and they were all working together. And none of that was happening in New York. Government was not focused on bringing and attracting businesses. When I started, started a concept called entrepreneurial government. And people said, oh, that's an oxymoron. I said, no, it's not. It's not. Government today has to go out there and find and attract business. Amazon now, major company, basically said, put out a notice, we'll come build a big facility. You governments tell us what you will do to attract us. And cities all across the country, states all across the country, put together proposals to attract Amazon. Now, Amazon is a big fish, so we've promised them all sorts of things, all sorts of inducements and seductions. We'll name a town after them, a village after them. We'll have scholarship program named after them. Howard will go work with them for the first 10 years of his life, and then his children will go work with them. So whatever it takes, we're going to offer Amazon. But they're a big fish, but that's emblematic of what you have to do today. You have to go out and make it happen. What's exciting about today is it all starts with a vision. And it all starts with daring and with courage. And taking on a project like this is a $24 million project. This is a big deal. It takes vision, it takes guts, and it takes a lot of hard work. The vision is what Martha said, centrally isolated. You want to survive and thrive economically? People have to be able to get to you. That's step one. And the new economy is not going to drive here. The new economy is global, it's international, and they fly. You need an international airport so you can bring your resources to bear internationally and be internationally accessible. That's the vision. And that's true. By the way, every president, past 5 presidents, they've all said the same thing. We have to invest in infrastructure. We have to invest in transportation. The economy comes to the place that's most accessible. Everybody says the same thing. Democratic, Republican, short, tall, bald, orange hair. Whatever it is, they all said the same thing. Donald Trump promised $1.5 trillion in infrastructure when he was running, remember? Never happened. But it was a nice promise, and it was the right idea. Because you have to build to grow. You have to have a vision and you have to invest. I got tired of waiting for the federal government to step up. We said in this state, we're going to have the most aggressive construction program of any state in the United States of America, $100 billion. And we're focusing on airports because they are the new front door to the new economy. And that's exactly what this is. And it takes vision and it takes daring, but it is exactly right. And last point is, there is an irony to this, and life does come full circle. Martha said there's a continuity between the Tommy and today. I don't know if there's a continuity, but there is a connection. Look at the daring and vision we had that made New York, New York. We were a gutsy, daring, ambitious people. When they talk about the New York stereotype, those pushy, those ambitious New Yorkers, it's true. It's true. We became the #1 state in the nation, not by sitting back and saying, we're going to see what happens. New York did not evolve. We had a vision, we went out and we made it happen. 6 years after the Wright brothers first fly, Cornell says we should develop an aeronautics industry. And they invite the Thomas brothers here to start building airplanes 6 years after the Wright brothers. What vision, what guts. And that's the Tommy. And then since the Thomas brothers were here, Robinson came here, started a charter airlines. That becomes U.S. Air. That was the guts and the vision and the idealism and the self-confidence that we had at one time. Where did it go? It waned over the years. But it's rekindled today. It's rekindled today. The Ithaca Tompkins International Airport. You fly from anywhere to here. And you know what? It has been a long, hard road economically, especially for the southern tier. That is the truth. But the truth is also we have turned the corner. This state has more private sector jobs today than it has ever had in history, over 8 million. We have the lowest unemployment rate. We have the lowest unemployment rate in this state in 20 years. The unemployment rate in the southern tier went from 7.3 down to 4.9. We have over 200,000 new jobs. We are headed in the right direction. And this project is going to take us forward by leaps and bounds. It's going to happen. It's not a proposal. It's not a dream. It's not on paper. It is going to happen. It is going to happen by next December, or the mayor and Martha are going to be living in the state of New Jersey, okay, which is one of those other states. That's how you know you get things done in life. That's what I call gubernatorial persuasion and charm. That is my charm. We're going to get it done. $24 million is going to be a quality project built by our brothers and sisters in organized labor, so we do it right. And Ithaca is going to be taking off, and we're starting now. Thank you, and God bless you.